Going live, going live, going live. Oh my God. Is it happening? Am I live? I think I am. I'm never really sure if I'm. It's always so abrupt. But I think I'm live. Look, I even made this stupid thing to sort of make it like the official first live stream. Yeah, kind of fun. Whoo, man. I don't know if I was complaining last live stream that it was warm, but like exactly today is super warm again, like all of a sudden. So I am back in sweating mode because like yesterday it was like 18 degrees and today it's like 26, 27. So, hey, hello there, my first viewer. Hi, welcome. I'm just drinking some water to stay hydrated. Yeah, that's the word. So, first live stream. Well, actually, I'm saying first live stream, first official live stream since I sort of announced that I'm going to do this every Wednesday from now on, and I'm planning to keep on doing that from now on. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a new idea, but let's see what happens, right? I mean, I always like trying new things. Well, not everything. I mean, there are some boundaries, but anyways. So the main topic for today, and of course we can talk about any other things, but I mean, it would be fun to have some sort of a main sort of topic. The main topic for this week's live stream is travel. Also, because I am going on a big travel myself, me and my wife, Jody, we're going to go to the United States in about a week. Then we're leaving for almost 2 months. We're going to be traveling all across the East Coast of the United States. We've been saving a long time for this trip and we're really looking forward to it. So yeah, that's going to be fun. So yeah, I mean, travel, I guess I could ask you guys, first of all, I just see your name. Like, I have no idea how I'm supposed to pronounce that name. Is it Doetmang Bruce Fitch? It sounds very interesting. How am I? Is that a real name or is that something you made up yourself? It sounds cool though, but I have no idea how to pronounce it. Your internet name. Okay, well, that makes sense. That's cool. So, and where are you from, if I may ask? Oh, warm. USA. Hey there. That's cool. That's cool. West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, South, North. What state? I'm just curious. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but My Paseo video. Yes, I really like my Toyota Paseo. It's such a fun and easy car to drive and to have. Oh, Ohio. Okay, Ohio. I sort of know where that is. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna be visiting Washington State. We're gonna go to Seattle first next week, and then we're gonna travel down to Oregon, Portland, and then after Portland, we're gonna make a small detour, by the way, to the very east sort of corner of Portland, because that's where an inmate is located, a prisoner, who I'm gonna visit. So he's in, I think it's called Ontario, Oregon. So near the state line with, what is that? Idaho? I think it's Idaho. Very close to Idaho. But anyways, after that, we're gonna go travel back to the coastline and then down to California, and we're gonna end up in Los Angeles eventually. And from Los Angeles, we'll be flying back to the Netherlands. So, Seattle Portland used to live in Denver. Oh, I've heard good things about Denver, Colorado. I mean, like Colorado in general, it's supposed to be a very beautiful state, like lots of mountains, lots of great nature from what I've heard. So I would definitely like to visit Colorado at some point. But yeah, so many places to visit, man. So many places, so many countries. I'm also really, I really want to go to the East at one point in my life, to Japan. Because I'm really fascinated by Japanese culture, and must be just I don't know, like I sort of imagine Japan to be such a weird, crazy country to visit that I don't know, like I just want to see it for myself. But it's also very far away and very expensive, so yeah, it's gonna take some Gonna take some time before I'm there. But yeah, Colorado. Yeah, I guess so. I can imagine. I've only been to on the East Coast once in New York for a week, and I've also been to Chicago. That's a very long story. I was supposed to go to St. Louis because my ex lived there, but then she broke up with me like a week before I was going to go to St. Louis. So that was super awkward. and then of course I couldn't stay in St. Louis anymore. So I took the Greyhound bus to Chicago, and I walked around all by myself like a crybaby in Chicago for a week. Yeah, that kind of sucked. Oh well, but that's like, I don't know, like 8 or 9 years ago. Yeah. Hey, Matt's here too. Matt, nice to see you again, dude. Yeah, that was a nice detour. I mean, Chicago was a nice city. I mean, I was, sort of really impressed by the how do you say that? Like the grandness, like how big the city was and all the buildings and whatnot. But obviously, I was heartbroken at the time, so I wasn't really sort of in a happy place. So yeah, that kind of ruined the trip. But yeah, shit happens. Toyota City in Japan. Toyota City. Is there like a city where Toyota? This is really bad because I don't even know what city Toyota is from. I know Toyota is Japanese, obviously. I do know that, but I have no idea from what city the brand is. Is it from Tokyo or I don't know? But yeah, the Paseo, man. I love my little Paseo. Still very happy with that car. Let's see how long I can drive it without it breaking down. You know, Japanese reliability. Let's see how far that can take us. I mean, they also said the same thing about Lexus, that, you know, Lexus is such a reliable car. Well, I owned a Lexus for more than a year, and the fucking thing broke down, I don't know, like 3 or 4 times. So, wow. An entire city owned by Toyota. Everything there is Toyota. Okay. Huh. That sounds kind of cool. So, I mean, I guess there's like only Toyotas driving around over there, only Toyota cars. What would happen if you would drive around there in a Mazda, like, or in a in a Hyundai? People would start shooting you, or oh, that'd be funny. Toyota City. Wow. Okay, 74,000 miles. Had it to 187. Okay, that 187,000 miles. That's about what, 280 or so kilometers? 280,000. Whew, that's a lot. Yeah, mine currently has 166,000 kilometers. So that's about 100,000 miles, I believe. So that's not too bad. I mean, for Paseo, I guess. Should have some, but there is one thing that kind of worries me, and I have no idea where it's coming from. But when I turn the wheel, and it's only to the left when I'm like driving out of the parking garage, so I'm going really slow. And when I drive out my parking garage, I have to make like a sharp turn to the left. So I turn the wheel all the way to the left, and then when I take a corner to the left, there's like this sort of soft grinding noise. It doesn't sound like very sort of aggressive, like something is really broken, but it's just a sort of, and as soon as I turn the wheel back to like straight, then it stops. So yeah, and it's been doing that for like, I don't know, months. So I have no idea if that is something I should be really worried about, but that is something that is maybe, like when I'm back from my trip, then maybe I'll bring it to a garage and have them check it out or something. Bad CV joint. Okay. I could be. I don't know. I was looking it up, and I got some people saying something about the power steering or about the, the power steering pump that could be damaged. But then, I mean, if it would be the power steering, then it would also happen when you're turning the wheel all the way to the right, and it's only to the left. So that's kind of weird. I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, it's an older car, like any older car has like sort of certain noises and weird little things. I mean, when we had our previous beater car, the beater was also very sort of had all these weird noises, and we just kept driving it. We're like, fuck it. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I don't know. At a certain point, you do need to take it to a garage, obviously. Yeah, it's kind of. Holy, your new beater passed 200,000 miles, says Matt. Holy moly. That is impressive. 200,000 miles. That's almost like 300,000 kilometers. Jeez. Yeah. That's impressive. I mean, I guess that's the thing with the beater, right? I mean, you should just like keep on driving it until there's like no more juice in it, and then you just move on to the next beater. Or am I being too harsh now? We should give the beaters a little bit more TLC, maybe. I don't know. Oh yeah, if the pump it would squeak. No, it's not a squeaky noise. It's more like a grind. I don't know. It's hard to like explain. I mean, it sounds more like a sort of grind, but it's not like a very harsh grind. It's more like a. I don't know. Am I doing it right? It's like. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, it's been, like I said, it's been doing it for a couple of months, and yeah. But I will. I mean, when we come, only sound on one. Yeah, it's only to the left. Like when I completely make a full lock to the left steering, then it happens. And when I'm driving slowly, because you can't really make a full lock when you're driving really fast. Well, you could maybe, but wouldn't end well. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. I think I'll just take it to a garage when I get back. But that's also a thing. I don't really have like in my previous house where I lived, I had a nice garage, really friendly people who I could trust. But now I've moved. I mean, where I live now, I live here for 2 years already. But the garage is kind of far away, and I don't really. I mean, I could bring my car there, but it's kind of a hassle. So in Utrecht, the city where I live, it's kind of hard to find like a decent garage which you can really trust, because I don't know, like so many garages over here, they just sort of charge you for bullshit, and then you just pay money for something that maybe wasn't even broken. I don't know. Is it possible that your plastic wheel well insert is rubbing the tire? Dude, I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. See, I'm not like a mechanic. I mean, I like cars, and I like like basic engine stuff I can understand, but I'm not a mechanic, so I can't really I don't really know that much about like internal engine stuff. So as I said, I probably just need to bring it to a garage when I get back in like August or September, and then we'll see. I mean, I have like 1 week left, and the only thing I'm going to need the car for next week is to bring our cat to my mom, because my mom is going to take care of the cat for like a month and a half. Thank you, Mom. You're probably not watching. It doesn't matter still. So yeah, but that's the only thing I need the car for. My mom lives in Amsterdam, which is like 40 kilometers, so like 20 miles from here. So should be doable. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Quit the shop working. Okay. Basic oil change cost. Is that 5? Are you saying 5,000? Is that 3? Geez, 5,000? And she paid that? Are you kidding me? I mean, no offense, but that must not have been a very bright lady. I mean, $5,000 for an oil change. I mean, for example, no offense to my wife Jody, but she doesn't really know much about cars. But I'm pretty damn sure that if she would bring our car to a shop for an oil change and they would say, "Oh, that's 5,000 euros," that she would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Are you fucking kidding me?" Holy moly. Jeez. Wow. Poor lady. Down. Yeah, you got to be careful. I mean, there's like so many like undercover YouTube videos where people go to a shop, and they place a camera on the dashboard, or they place whatever, they place a camera somewhere, and then they start doing. They just leave the car there for like an oil change or whatever, and people then sort of and then they come back, and then you see the video. And sometimes, like these shops, they don't even do the oil change. They just look at the oil and they go like, "Oh, it's fine," and they just don't even do it, and still they charge you for it. It's crazy. Just making a sale. Oh my god, that's just cruel. I mean, that guy man, I don't have any words for that. Really? Is that like a thing in the States? I mean, $800 for an oil and a filter. Yeah, I mean, I guess like what are like normal prices? Because over here, an oil change, like a normal price would be like maybe 60 to 80 euros. So what, like, would it be normal in the States to get an oil change for like 70, $80? I guess that would be normal, right? Or I don't know. I've never done an oil change in the States, but Jesus. But still, I mean, like people actually pay that. Wow. I mean, yeah, even if you don't know anything about cars, still you would expect to have some sort of like street smarts or whatever to know that you're like $800 for basically pouring something out of something and then pouring something in something again. Seems a little bit too much. Yeah. Oh, $35. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. BMW. Yeah, man. Tell me about it. Like I said, I had a Lexus and woo wee. I loved that car. It was such a great car to drive. But like, first of all, it wasn't the most reliable Lexus. Now, maybe I was just unlucky. I don't know. It just could have been my bad luck. But honest to God, man, anything that happened to that car immediately costs like 700-800 euros or more. Like even simple things. So like, what the hell is going on? It's going bankrupt. But in the end, it makes sense, right? I mean, it does make sense. Like the more luxurious your car is, the more expensive parts are going to be, the more you're going to pay. It makes sense in a certain way. Cars are an investment. I'm not sure if I completely agree with that. I guess certain cars are an investment, like specific cars can be, yeah, that can be an investment. I mean, no offense, but my Paseo, I don't really see that as an investment. And if you drive like a normal Volkswagen or a basic, I don't know, like basic Chevy or whatever car, I don't really like, how can that be an investment? I mean, unless they in like 20 or 30 years all of a sudden become sort of collectibles, but I don't know. Oh wow, did you have a Porsche, Matt? That's cool. Nice. Hyundai's. Yeah, I had a Hyundai. I had a actually sad but true. My most watched video on my channel is my review of my Hyundai Coupe, or the Hyundai Tiburon as it's called in the States. And that was that was a really cool car to drive, the Tiburon. But handling, believe it or not, that maybe it was just my car, but to me, like the Paseo handles better than the Tiburon. There was this weird thing going on with my Hyundai Tiburon where the steering, it was so light that I had like no like feeling like what the car was doing. So if I would make like a sort of a sharper turn, because the steering was so light, the steering wheel was actually going like this. You know, that would just, it didn't feel like the wheels didn't have traction or whatever. It just felt basically unsafe at a certain point. And maybe there was something wrong with the car. I don't know, but I just felt like it doesn't handle properly. So, you know, I got rid of it. You had two, Tiburon. Okay, but Matt, do you recognize that thing, what I'm saying about the steering, that the steering was like really sort of light and didn't really have feedback? Maybe it was just my car. I don't know, but yeah. Oh yeah, the USA doesn't have monthly road tax like other places around the world. Well, geez, man, be happy. Honestly, over here in the Netherlands, like you pay according to the weight of your car. So if you have, this is also why, like, I don't know if you've ever been to the Netherlands, but if you're here, like you'll see that there's like a lot of small Japanese cars on the road. And that is because the lighter your car is, the less you pay every month. So if you have like a big truck, like people in the States have, I mean, I don't know, like I never owned a truck, but I guess these things weigh more than 2,000 kilos, 4,000 pounds. So over here, like owning a truck would probably cost you like $300 or $400 a month in like taxes, only the taxes, and not even talking gasoline. Yeah, right. I mean, the handling. Well, yeah. I mean, the handling of my Paseo, it's not a very fast car, but the steering just feels really nice. I mean, I was really surprised when I first. Oh no! Don't do that! No, my computer wants to restart. Nope, I stopped it. He was talking about updates and whatever. Shut up, stupid iMac. What was I saying? Yeah, the Paseo, like the steering is sort of like even a little bit heavy, which you wouldn't expect of a small light car, but it feels sort of planted on the road. It's really nice. I mean, I'm not saying it's like the best handling car out there, but like for its size and it handles pretty damn good. Latest beater actually looks like a Tiburon. Oh, okay. What is your Matt? What is the brand of your beater? What is it? What kind of car is it? Don't know if I asked before. Sorry if I forgot. Yeah, 1543 pounds. Yeah, that makes sense. Over here, I think the Paseo is like 800, 900 kilograms. So I guess that makes sense. Yeah, it's pretty light. It does look like a nice car, the Paseo. Only, I mean, mine isn't like in the best shape, I guess. It has a few scratches here and there, and I don't really clean it that often. Maybe I should clean it more often. But you know, now I'm a bit lazy when it comes to cleaning my car now. With the Lexus, I was a lot more, you know, focused on keeping it clean. But now I'm like, well, you know, it's an older car. I don't want it to look like shit or anything, but I'm not really meticulous when it comes to cleaning. But yeah. 2004 Pontiac Sunfire. I have no idea what kind of car that is, but you have made me curious, so I will do a quick Google. Let's see what it is. Pontiac Sunfire. Let me see. Images. Huh! That is a weird looking car, man. That is a very, very unique looking car. That I mean, like the front is the headlights. It's really not. I've never seen that car over here. You don't see that car over here. Huh? I kind of like it. What kind of color do you have it in? I'm seeing it in the sort of a burgundy red over here, and blue and yellow, like all sorts of colors. Doesn't really look that great in gray, to be honest. I think in red or in blue. Huh? Let me go back to the YouTube here because I couldn't see what you guys are saying now. Baby Trans Am. Oh, you have it in white. Is also, yeah, white is always a little bit of a sort of a tricky color for a car, you know? I mean, some cars can pull it off. it's okay. I mean, and obviously, like white cars tend to get you see all the dirt and scratches easier, so that's sort of a negative about it. But 9 feet, no, you can't go wrong for that for that amount. There's a 1997 Paseo convertible for sale near me. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I've never owned a convertible myself, but that sounds kind of cool. Yeah. The only convertible car I mean, if I would buy a convertible ever, then I guess I would go for a Mazda MX-5. I think it's called a Miata in the States. Mazda Miata. Yeah, I think those are really nice. And they, from what I've never driven one, but from what I've heard, they handle pretty well and they're reliable, fun to drive. Yeah. From what I've heard, those cars are pretty damn cool, and they're also not that expensive. Over here in the Netherlands, you can find them for, well, I mean, if you want like a decent car, like one that doesn't have too many miles and is not really in a bad shape, I guess they start at like 3,000 euros, so about $3,000. And if you want like a really nice one, then they start at like 6,000 or 7,000. So it's doable. Tuning, yeah, I guess so. They're not really fast. I mean, if you have like the 1.8, I guess it's decent. I think they do 0 to 60 in about 9 or 8 seconds. So it's pretty okay. It's not super fast. But I mean, a car like that doesn't really have to be really fast, right? I mean, for me, it wouldn't be really be like, I wouldn't see it as a priority. Seen one with a 5-liter Mustang engine. Holy smokes. That must be really crazy to drive and also terrifying. A 5-liter V8 in a Miata. Like, what does a Miata weigh? Like 900 kilos, 1,800 pounds, something like that? Crazy. That thing must really, that must be a lethal weapon then, man. Oh my God. Jeez. I went to like half a year ago. I went to this tuning, sort of American cars tuning event in the north of the Netherlands, in Assen, it's called, and they have a race over there, and a circuit. They have like all sorts of events, but like every year I think they have this USA event, and then they do all sorts of crazy American cars with V8, V12, whatever. And they also, I remember, they had a I don't know if it was a, what was it, like an older American car. I don't know what it was. Like this really, maybe a Chevy or whatever. But they had some sort of a nitro engine in it. And then they did drag races with it. And I know like drag races in the States are pretty common, but I had never seen a drag race in my life. And I was like, they had a stand on the side, and I was standing there with my camera. And when that car started, like when it pulled away, the noise and the sort of the vibrations from the engine were so intense that I could just feel it like on my chest. I was like, like a sort of a rocket exploding. It was so freaking crazy. I really like that. I mean, it was the first time for me seeing something like that. Maybe if I have the opportunity when I'm in the States, then I'll try to, see another drag race. Would be kind of cool to see it again over there. But that was really, man, unbelievable. Whatever happened to your buddy from the beta challenge? Oh yeah, nice that you ask. Actually, I don't really talk to him that often. I think he also still has his own YouTube channel, but he stopped doing. He was doing like vlogs and stuff like that, and he stopped doing that. Also because there's this forum over here where he was really active, and there were a lot of people from that forum who were following him on his YouTube channel. But also, unfortunately, a lot of people who were following him purely for the reason because they made fun of him, because he has some sort of, his choices in life and his choices when it comes to cars and whatnot are not like normal choices for everybody. So many people were like only following him to make fun of him. which is kind of sad, I think. But anyways, it happens. So he stopped doing vlogs, and now he's doing keyboard videos. So he's playing his keyboard because he's a really talented keyboard player, piano player. So I think that's the only thing he's doing right now. And when it comes to cars, I think he owns a Opel. I don't think you have Opel in the United States. They're called Vauxhall in the UK, but I don't think you have them in the States. Yeah. They have Chevy cars over there. Oh, Chevrolet. No. We have them over here. We do. They're just not very common. Also, for example, a Mustang. I was so like over here, when you see like a Mustang, people, it's like a head turner. People go like, oh, a Mustang. Oh my God. And I was so surprised when I was in California. It was like Mustang, 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 Mustang. Oh, Mustang. Like nonstop. But over here, it's pretty rare to see one. So it's kind of funny. He was likable. Yeah, no, he's a really nice guy. He's a really nice guy. But the thing is, as I said, like he can be a little bit awkward when it comes to his choices in life. For example, I'm not going to say too much about him, but I know that at that time, he didn't have a job. And people were also like making fun about that. Like, oh, you don't have a job, blah, blah, blah. You're useless. You're a bum. You're a nobody. Yeah. I mean, that's just, people on the internet, people online can be really freaking mean. So far on my YouTube channel, I haven't encountered that many people who are like assholes to me. But, for many people, it's like really easy to, you're anonymous on YouTube and on the internet in general. So it's really easy to, make a comment and say something really crappy because, yeah, you don't know. I mean, I don't know if somebody would say something to me on my YouTube channel under some alias. I don't know who that person is, so they can say whatever they want. They probably wouldn't say it to me in real life, but on the internet, they're all heroes. That's how it is, man. Vauxhall is Buick in the US. Really? I didn't know that. Huh. I thought Buick was like an all-American brand. Huh. That's interesting. Buick. That's also something that would be very interesting. For example, going back a little bit to the traveling, if I would go to Asia at some point to see like the kind of cars they have in Japan, because obviously like Toyota and Mazda and what else you got? Mitsubishi and whatever, like those cars, we have them over here as well. But I'm just curious, like they're probably going to be different in some way, right? I mean, first of all, they drive on the, what is it? Left? They drive on the left. Yeah. So the steering wheel will be different, obviously. But I mean, I guess they also have like different sort of specific Japanese tailored, cars that you don't really see over here. Yeah, right-hand drive. That's what. Yeah. General Motors doesn't make their own cars. Holden or Vauxhall rebranded as Chevy or Buick. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Thanks for that. I didn't know that. That's interesting. You did? You built a Skyline? Oh, man. Skyline is freaking awesome. That is freaking amazing. I really love that. Skyline and what's the other one? The other Supra. Oh, man. I wish I could drive it. I could drive a Supra, Toyota Supra. Man, that would be so awesome. And then start drifting it. I would probably crash it, but still, drift. I would also really love to do some sort of a drifting course or whatever. Like, at least learn how to control your car a little bit when it comes to drifting. I guess it's pretty hard. I mean, I don't think you can do that in one day, but yeah. Also, like a Supra, for example, I don't know if they're common over there, but over here, you never see one. Maybe I've seen maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 Supras in my life. That's it, honestly. Lucky you, lucky man. Yeah, I also follow this guy on YouTube called Noriyatu or Nori something. I think it's an Australian dude, and he lives in Japan, and he also goes like to these really crazy car events, drifting events. He also speaks Japanese, which I think is really cool. I think Japanese is a really, I mean, I don't speak it obviously, but when I hear it, it sounds so, I don't know, I think it sounds really powerful. It's a beautiful language, I think, but pretty much impossible to learn. I've tried, you have like this website called, what is it called? Duolingo, where you can do online teaching of languages or whatever. So I did like a few online courses just for fun, but Japanese is like so incredibly hard to learn. But anyways, this guy, he lives in Japan, and he does these events and these drifting events and whatnot. It's awesome. Really cool to see. Oh, yeah. Funny question. You see Toyota Starlets over there. Guess what? My dad owns a Toyota Starlet. He does. And yes, they're quite common. Actually, Starlets are pretty common, but Paseos, strangely enough, are not, because since I own one myself, I've not seen another Paseo over here. Still, I think I also said that in the review, but then when I did the review of the car, I only owned it for like a few weeks. But now we're like 4 or 5 months down the road, and I still have not seen a Paseo anywhere while driving over here in Holland. So still would be really cool. Like if I see one, I start honking, going, "Oh, hello, yes, oh, fellow Paseo." And then the person in the other car is going like, "What the fuck is this crazy person? What the hell? Let's just go." Yeah. But yeah, Toyota Starlets are pretty damn reliable as far as I know. I mean, my dad has one for like a year now. Not really the most exciting car to drive, but yeah. Ah, another person who wants to buy a Paseo. Cool. Living in Holland near Breda. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, if you want to buy a Paseo, go for it. Just do it. I don't think there are that many on sale right now. But I mean, if you go to like a car website or a Marktplaats, which is a Dutch secondhand website, I guess you can find a few. And it's really important that when you go look at one, just check all the books, the manuals, the garage, whatever, like all the maintenance that the cars had, and check for rust. And basically, that's what I did. I mean, I'm not a mechanic, but so I can't really say too much about like all the technical stuff. And also the timing belt obviously is something to check. But yeah, I mean, these cars are pretty reliable, so you can't really. I mean, there's not a very big chance that you're going to buy a very bad car, very bad Paseo. Yeah, Paseo is rare. It is kind of funny. I mean, I guess like all sort of older 90s cars are getting more rare these days because people tend to have newer cars, which makes sense. I mean, speaking of like really new cars, I'm not really following what is coming out like these, like in 2017, 2018, but like most cars that I see on the road over here and anywhere else that are like really new, they all kind of look, I don't know, boring. Can I say that? I mean, I don't want to step on anybody's toes here, but yeah, most of these cars that are coming out right now, they're all sort of, they look very sleek and they look very sort of, the I don't know, but they look boring. There's nothing sort of unique about these cars. Like when I see a 90s or an 80s car, then to me, I go like, whoa, that's like the shapes, like it's boxy or whatever. Or for example, Matt's car, the Pontiac. When I look at that car, I mean, yeah, I can imagine that not anybody would like this car because it has sort of a weird, unique shape to it. But I like it. I mean, why not? It's not. It doesn't look like a car that you would see on the road nowadays. So to me, that is like, I don't know, like what kind of car that is coming out right now do you think is a good looking car? Like in 2017, 2018, what is a nice looking car? Tell me. I'm going to close the window here because my neighbors are sort of doing something and it's annoying the fuck out of me. Ah, yes, I agree with that one. The last comment. Toyota GT86. Good call. Good call. I agree with that. That is a good looking car. Unfortunately, over here, it is way too expensive. I actually thought about, saving up for one at some point, but they start at like 28,000 euros. So for me, that is a lot of money to pay for a car. So Hyundai Veloster. Yeah, interesting is the word. I wouldn't say it's pretty. I think the back, like the ass, is kind of weird. I don't know. I mean, yeah, but it isn't interesting. I mean, I do agree that it's not like a typical car when it comes to like the shape and whatever. So yeah, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, man, a Toyota GT86. Oh man, I wish. Also rear wheel drive. I mean, that's also one thing because the Lexus was rear wheel drive. I do prefer rear wheel drive when it comes to like handling and everything, because I don't know, like there's one thing that I really hate, and that's torque steer. Like when you sort of go on the gas and your steer starts doing this. And even the Paseo has that a little bit, even though it's not a fast car, and I freaking hate that. But yeah, road taxes are a bitch in our country. It's true, man. I was talking about that like 10 minutes ago. Here's another person from my country who is agreeing with me. And it's true. Like, as I said, you pay according to the weight. So this makes it pretty much impossible. If you like, for example, for me, I like American cars, and you can actually buy American cars over here. It's possible. We have them. But especially older American cars are like, usually they're gas guzzlers. They're not very economical. And second of all, they're usually very heavy, which means that you're going to pay a shitload of money for taxes driving around in an American car over here. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, the GT86 would be a perfect car for me if it wouldn't be so expensive. I mean, if it wouldn't be like 28,000 euros, then yeah. I mean, and I could like save up for a long time and then buy this car, but then I don't feel like spending 27,000 euros or dollars on a car. That's just way too much. I mean, I am a car enthusiast, but I also like to travel. I like to do stuff. And if I have to make like an equation like, oh, traveling or only owning a car, sorry, mate. I'm not going to like spend all my money on a car. I'm not going to do that. Travel around the world in a Mustang. All right. Be sure that you don't have too many corners, right? Because you're going to... No. Like the new Mustang, I think, handles really well. So you should be good. Yeah. I mean, I drove a Mustang when we were in California 2 years ago. Our rental car was a Mustang, an EcoBoost Mustang, white. Pretty cool to drive that car. It was really nice. Really liked it. And also pretty fast. I mean, it wasn't the GT version, but still had a lot of power. Oh, that's interesting. I missed this comment from Matt, but he says our taxes are based on the value of the car. Okay. So that is interesting. So does that mean then that if you own like a very old and not very expensive car, for example, if you own a Paseo, which is not really expensive, then you would pay less tax than if you would own a 2018 Camaro or Mustang? Is that true? Huh. Interesting. So then why aren't more people driving older cars over there? Because I didn't... I mean, when I was in the States, I don't remember seeing a lot of really old cars. So, I mean, it would be a more economical choice then, I guess, to... Oh, wait, you say you pay it once, a one-time tax. Oh, okay. So you pay it when you buy it, but then you don't have like monthly payments of taxes. Oh, it's a one-time tax. You guys are so lucky. We have to pay every freaking month. Every month we have to pay. So for the paseo, the tax, I mean the road tax over here every month is 25 euros. So about $25. So that's the road tax, and then of course you have to pay insurance. So insurance for me is like, I don't know, I have like 20, 19 euros. So in total I pay like 45 bucks every month to own the car. So that's only to own it. That is not driving it. And for example, to compare, the Paseo right now is like 45 euros for me. When I owned the Lexus, I also had to go in a higher class insurance-wise because it's a heavier, also more powerful car, and of course a lot heavier, so more road tax. So the monthly payment on the Lexus was about 130 euros, so 140 bucks. So 140 euros for a Lexus or 40 euros for a Paseo. So it saves me like a 100 euros a month to not drive the Lexus anymore. Sad but true. Oh, so sorry about that, guys. It's all the water. How much did I pay for my Paseo? 1,700 euros. And they asked 2,200. So that's also like I think we also talked about this in the previous live stream a little bit. But I don't know, like if you're going to buy a Paseo, but there's a big chance that it's going to be on sale for quite a while because these cars are not really that popular. Like not that many people are looking for a Paseo. So also in my case, when I bought my Paseo, I saw that it was like for one and a half, almost 2 months already on sale, and they asked 2,200 euros for it. So I offered a way low. I think I started at like 1,500 or whatever, and then they went like no 2,000, and I went like okay 1,600 whatever, and then eventually we ended up at 1,700. So I got a lot of the price. And I guess for you, if you want to do that too, you can do that because, I mean, eventually they just want to get rid of that car, especially if it's a dealer. Then they just want to get rid of it. A yearly tax locally. Okay, so Americans are idiots. Well, some Americans are idiots, probably, yeah, but we have plenty of idiots over here as well. It's a worldwide problem, idiots. We should have idiot police arresting all the idiots. Emissions check every 2 years. Oh, really? Places need inspection. Nothing. Cars $24 exempt from all. Oh, that's kind of weird, actually. So 20 cars that are 25 years or older are exempt from inspection, but like why? Because usually older cars are more polluting, right? So I don't really get that. That's kind of weird. Insurance is whatever you want to pay. Wow. Yeah. Jeez, that is kind of weird. Wow, that is kind of weird. Yeah, well. Thanks for the tips. Yeah. Cool, man. Thanks for subscribing, and let me know if you end up buying a Paseo, and let me know where if you have the Paseo, let me know where you're driving so I can just sort of see if I can drive there as well and wave at you, because as I said, I've never seen another Paseo on the road, so I want to do my Paseo wave. We should do like a special sort of like what is a nice Paseo hand gesture thingy. So only Paseo owners know that. Man, that's nerdy. But yeah, I hope you find your car. But yeah, it's funny like how these road taxes and road like government rules when it comes to cars, how different they are in many countries. because even over here, like even the small, like Western Europe, the differences between our neighboring countries are crazy as well. Even if you're talking about gas wise, for example, Belgium and Germany. I mean, for me, I could drive to Belgium in like 2 hours, or I could drive to Germany in 2 hours. Like either way, I would be there in 2 hours. And the gas prices in Germany and in Belgium are like way cheaper than Holland. So we pay, I think, now around 160 ish per liter, because yeah, we have per liter, not miles per gallon, obviously. So I don't really know how that would sort of equate to miles per gallon. But anyways, €1.60 per liter. And if you go to Belgium, it's about 140 or so, or 130 per liter. And I think Germany also like 140. So it's like 20 cents per liter cheaper compared to here. And they're like our neighboring countries. It's like, makes no sense. So we're getting screwed here. But yeah, what can you do? What can you do? Why are so many people obsessed in owning a new car? Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. I mean, like whenever you listen to the radio and there's like commercials, like 9 times out of 10 over here, commercials are about new cars. Like, oh, buy the new Hyundai, blah, 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 or buy the new Nissan, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, are people really that obsessed with buying new cars all the time? I mean, first of all, a new car, like buying a new, like showroom new car, is a bad idea. You know how fast these things, like what is the word, depreciate in value, like how fast they drop in value. It's crazy. Like within a year, I think it's like 20 or 30% of the value. So why would you buy like a brand new car over here? I really don't get why people want to do that. Oh, what kind of grades? Yeah, gasoline. That's also interesting. Yeah, because I remember in the States, it's like what was it? 88 and then 90, I think, and 92, 93. You have like these 3 buttons that you need to press. You need to choose, right? When you fill up your car. I remember that, yeah. Over here we have basically Euro, it's called Euro 95 or Euro 98. 95 being the cheaper option, obviously. And I guess the difference is basically, the difference is the octane rating, but the difference is usually like faster, like really more sort of turbocharged, like faster cars. They sort of need 98. So yeah, I guess like people with Porsches and whatever, they probably only fueled up with 98. But for me, I've never owned a car where I wouldn't just put 95 in it, because yeah, even the Lexus, I mean, it wasn't a super fast car, obviously, but even then I didn't put 98 in it. So yeah, and I don't really know if there's like I think there's also a few YouTube videos where people are in the States testing out like performances of cars compared to like the 88 and the 90 and 87, 89, 91. Okay, I was pretty close. Yeah, so, but I think, is there like a difference between 87, 89, 91, like performance-wise? Would you like notice if you would drive like the same car, first you would drive it on 87 and then you would drive it on 91? Would there be much of a difference? Because I'd probably not, right? Best mileage. You're not working for the company. Really? Yes. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Yeah, I don't know. 91, 93 in the stock Paseo got 50 miles per gallon. That's pretty good. 50 miles per gallon. That's not bad. I've done a miles to the gallon test once in my Paseo, or kilometers to liter, obviously over here. And but that was in winter. I did it once, and I think I got like 1 to 13. So 13 kilometers per liter, which is, I guess in winter is normal. It's not a great score. But yeah, I should do one again now in summertime because it's probably going to be better in summer. But yeah. The good thing is I don't really drive that much. I mean, I don't need my car every day for work and whatnot. So I guess I don't really pay a lot of money for gas on average. So this is also why I can technically afford to drive a, less, like a more expensive car when it comes to gas and gas economy, if I wanted to. You know what other car I would really sort of like to own at some point, but it's probably a really bad idea. But I would love to own a Nissan 350Z. I think these cars are pretty damn good looking, and they're not that expensive anymore, even over here. I mean, it's doable, but these are pretty fast cars, relatively fast cars, and they are not very economical. I think they do like, I don't know, like 20 miles to the gallon on average, 25 maybe. Do you guys know the Nissan 350? You drove one in England. Okay, cool. Nice. That's true. Yeah, I believe the engine, the 3.5 liter of the Nissan 350, is also being used in a what was it? Renault or I think a Renault, like a soccer mom van. I don't know which type, because I saw that once in a YouTube video. I don't remember like the specific car, but yeah, the same engine is basically also in a van. Or well, it's not called a van. What is it called? What are these cars called? Like the soccer mom cars. They have a name. The type of car. Minivan? No. What is that? Damn. MPV? No, it's not. It's not an SUV. It's not an SUV. It's like a small, yeah, minivan. It's like a smaller SUV, basically, like the kind of car that you see like family people driving around with 6 kids in it. And I think it was from Renault, and they had the same engine as the like the same type engine as the Nissan 350Z in there, which is pretty funny, I think. That is also, by the way, sort of idea or like dream that Jody and I have to at some point buy like a van or whatever, and to just make some sort of a camper out of it, and just drive through Europe with it, like take a month or 2 off and just start driving and just see what happens. Just get your camper on the road and just do the van life for a month or 2. I think that would be really interesting. I would love to try that sometime. $350 is new looking for me. 2004 is also young. Well, I mean, the Nissan 350 I think was built between 2003 and 2007 or 8, something like that. So it's not a really old car. It's not a new car either. It's like in between. But yeah, I like him. But I don't think I will buy one soon. I'll keep my Paseo for now. I'm still very happy with that. Yeah, a 280Z. Yeah, those are pretty rare, by the way. A Datsun 280Z. You don't really see those often over here. And if you see one and it's in good shape, then be prepared to bring a lot of money, because they are very expensive. But yeah, all these like older sports car, like most of them, they look so damn good. I mean, if they're in good shape, obviously, then but they look, I don't know. I prefer, like, for me personally, I prefer sports cars from the 90s, like the 80s and the 90s, more than a sports car now. I mean, whenever I see a Lamborghini or I see like a McLaren or whatever, then of course, yeah, you're gonna look like, hey, whoa, it's a Lamborghini or whatever. But I'm never really impressed with these cars. I don't know. I mean, they just don't really do much for me. I don't know how it's for you, but like a new Lamborghini or McLaren or Ferrari, they're pretty, obviously, but they just don't really give me the fizz, as the who said that? May from Top Gear. They don't give me the fizz. If you make a camper out of a van, go to the area and change the green card to camper. Yeah. Yes. I know this. Yeah, I've looked this up, because if you have a camper license on your car, then you're going to pay a lot less tax. Yes, I would definitely do that, because if you have like a normal, if you have it on the normal, because these things are also very heavy, and then you're going to be paying a lot of money. Yeah, rest in peace, Top Gear. Do you guys like the new one, the Grand Tour? I've watched like the first 2 seasons. I think they're at season 3 already. Are they? Not really sure. I don't know. Like the Grand Tour, it's okay, but somehow it doesn't have the same entertainment value as Top Gear had. I mean, it's nice. I like it, but I thought Top Gear was a little bit more, I don't know. The ideas were more spontaneous or something. I mean, like the especially the challenges of Top Gear seemed more, I don't know, like more fancy, more fun. But yeah, Grand Tour is nice too. The old Top Gear now, I mean, is being hosted by Joey from Friends, right? Matt LeBlanc. I think that's the only fun thing about the new old Top Gear, that Matt LeBlanc is sort of hosting it. Because I kind of like Friends. I used to watch it a lot, so. And it's really funny, because when you see this guy presenting Top Gear, then to me he's still Joey. Like his whole demeanor, his way of talking, saying things, it's the same guy. I mean, it's Joey. It's not. I don't know. But yeah, Top Gear, fun. Try watching American Top Gear. They dropped a crane. AE86. Is that like also a Toyota 86? Don't really remember that name, but they do kill a lot of cars in Top Gear. Yep. There was also this. Oh, it's a Toyota. Okay. There was also this. What brand was it called? With the old Top Gear, when Jeremy Clarkson and the other guys were still hosting it, and they were really making fun of this certain car. What was it? A Morris, I think. Morris. And they were all the time. They were like blowing these cars up or throwing it off a cliff or whatever, and then they would get like complaints from the Morris Owners Club, people being upset about it, and really. Yeah, I can imagine, like, if you own a car like that, and if you're like really, if you love these cars and you see them being thrown off cliffs and whatnot in old whatever, like in a show, then I can imagine. No, it wasn't the 3-wheel car. It was really this. It's called, I think, a Morris. Look it up for a second here. Morris Marina. Was that the one? Yeah, I think that's the one. You should Google Morris Marina, and that is the car that. Oh, immediately when you. By the way, if you do a Google search, like immediately you will get a Top Gear video on YouTube where they're talking about thrashing the Morris Marina, whatever. They drop a piano on the car. That's what they did. They dropped the piano on it. Yeah, kind of cruel to the old Morris, but yeah, I can imagine if you own a car like that you probably wouldn't like seeing that, but. I mean, if Top Gear would destroy a Toyota Paseo, I would just laugh on. I mean, I would just go like, "Oh, okay." they killed the Paseo. Well, I mean, I wouldn't get upset. It's not my Paseo. I don't care. As long as it's not my own car. But yeah, these Top Gear guys, they are pretty funny. So, also coming back to the traveling thing, I will be we're going to be leaving to the States on June 28th, which is next Thursday. So that means I pretty much have one more live stream on Wednesday that I'm going to do next week over here, and then I'm going to be in the States, and I will try to. I mean, I still feel like doing a live stream over there, so I'll try to do that on my phone or on the laptop, but I have no idea, like time-wise, because it's a different time zone when it will be. So I will need to figure that out. And also, I would love to try to do a live stream from the Paseo. That would also be funny. So I'll try to. I'm not sure if I can do that next week, but I'll try to do a live stream from the Paseo at one point. I mean, it's going to be a little bit different because if I'm going to be driving, then I can't really respond too much to the comments. But yeah, that would be a nice idea to show you guys around and drive around in the Paseo doing a live stream. That'd be funny. And if you guys have any other ideas, by the way, for places or whatever, or topics or anything regarding live streams, just give me a comment or let me know, because as I said, this is also a new tryout for me doing live streams. So yeah, I can use the input. I'm going to open my window again because I think the neighbors have stopped doing what we're doing. Yep. Oh, fresh air. Oh my God. Man, I am very curious what the weather is going to be like in Seattle next week. I looked it up, and I think it's going to be about 21 degrees Celsius. So that would be like 69, 70 Fahrenheit, which is okay. It's not too warm. It's not cold. I can deal with that. I mean, the weather over here right now is pretty nice. So I guess I can just continue the summer vibes when it comes to... What kind of tech am I into? Oh, Android. Okay. It's funny that you say Android, by the way, because I have since like, what is it? Since like a month or maybe like month and a half, I own a Android phone. Yeah, I own this one. It's the what is it? Motorola Moto something. And it's not a very fancy phone, by the way, but I got it from work for free. So, and I switched to Android actually because my previous phone was an iPhone. I had the iPhone SE, and I switched to Android because, well, I don't know. I wasn't really like fed up with iPhone, but I just felt like trying something new. So far, I think Android is pretty nice. I mean, it works. There's like a few things that are like completely different compared to iPhone, which took me a while to get used to, obviously. But I guess if you're used to that, like these few sort of quirky things that are different compared to iOS, then it's okay. The only thing that I do notice is that I guess like the speed of this phone is a little bit. It's not too bad, but it's a little bit slower than my iPhone when it comes to like multitasking and whatnot. Blue Vivo 5. I have never heard of that. Is that a phone brand? Blue Vivo 5. Wow. Yeah, and also, by the way, the camera of this phone is pretty... How should I put it? It's not bad. It's just average. It's like an average camera. It doesn't shoot in 4K. It does not have slow motion. And my iPhone SE did have 4K and slow motion. Not that you really need 4K on a phone, but it's nice to have, I think. So, I mean, camera-wise, I did sort of take a step back here. But yeah, obviously, I have my DSLR camera, so if I want like really good quality footage, I'm not going to use my phone anyway. But it's nice. The OnePlus 6, yeah, that's a good phone. One of my colleagues has that one as well. I hear it's like the best bang for your buck that compared to all the other phones because it's relatively cheap. I think it's like $500, $600, and you get like all these features. So I think the OnePlus 6 is the best deal right now when it comes to phones. Yep. No, but when it comes to being a tech geek, I guess for me it's also cameras, obviously, because I love cameras and filming. So yeah, that's something that I really enjoy, and I also really enjoy video games, technology when it comes to that. I have a PS4 and an Xbox. I also have. I'm planning to buy a PlayStation VR when I come back from my travels. So also VR is something that is really sort of fascinating to me. So yeah, I mean, I like stuff like that, and of course, yeah, phones. But I don't think I'm going to be buying a new phone anytime soon because as I said, I got this from work for free, and I really don't feel like walking around with two phones. I've done that in the past. I had like two phones at a certain point, and I really hate that because first of all, you need to have two phones in your pocket all the time, and it just doesn't work for me. It's very annoying. And also, I got with this phone, it does have a dual SIM, which is nice because I also have a work number. So I can just use my work SIM card and my private SIM card in the same phone. So that works. Also, the battery life isn't really good of this phone. I mean, it's decent, but sometimes I struggle to even use it for one day. Like if I use it a lot on one day, that like by the time it's like 7 or 8 p.m., the battery is already at like 3 or 4%. So it's not great, but I also have a Sega Dreamcast, man. Awesome. Do you know the game called Shenmue? It's like a Japanese game where you sort of walk around and talk to people and do stuff. It's really fun. Shenmue is a really great game. A Nintendo Switch is also nice, by the way. I've never played on a Nintendo Switch, but I hear that the Zelda on the Nintendo Switch must be really pretty damn good. But yeah, I don't really feel like buying an entire game setup only for one game. So I don't know if I would like buy it, but yeah. But Shenmue on the Dreamcast, that was the shit, man. Back in the day, that was so cool. I actually watched a YouTube video of Shenmue like a few months ago, just out of curiosity, as a throwback, like see what it looks like now. But even in today's standards, the graphics are pretty okay. I mean, obviously they're not great anymore, but it doesn't look bad to me. You say didn't get Shenmue 2. Oh, you buy the UK version. Okay. Well, I guess the UK version is pretty much the same. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, the Dreamcast was very underrated. And the thing is, I think not every, but most Sega console in the end sort of flopped. And I don't really know why, because they made great stuff. Like Sega was, to me, it was a very good sort of brand when it came to video games. I actually like Sega more than Nintendo. Back in the day, I was more of a Sega fan. Sega fanboy. Sega. Yeah, I mean, I had the what's it called? Like the the Sega Mega Drive. I had that. I've even had a Game Gear. Do you guys remember the Game Gear, like the handheld, the pocket gaming device? That was so cool, man. I remember like playing that when I don't know how old I was, like maybe 12 or 13. I don't know, but that was so cool. Oh, you have a Game Gear? That's cool, man. Keep that thing. They're gonna be worth like eventually they're going to be worth something to collectors. Yeah, that was really fun. Game Gear. Good times. Good times. I actually thought about buying a PSP at some point, but I didn't buy it because I was like, yeah, like how many times are actually going to be playing on like a mobile gaming device? Like maybe when you travel or when you're like bored or whatever, but I don't know. Sega CD. Oh man, also man, that is the Sega CD that flopped. For as far as I can remember, the Sega CD was a big flop. I don't really remember playing it because I've never owned one, but from what I've heard, it's that it didn't really do that well. But yeah, like I still have quite a few consoles. It's a pity I can't, because I'm sitting in my attic right now on the iMac, so I can't really bring you guys downstairs to show you. But we in our TV cabinet, we have, I believe, let me think, obviously a PlayStation 4, an Xbox 360, a Nintendo, what's it called? GameCube, yeah, GameCube. A PlayStation 1, the first PlayStation. What else? Oh, a Nintendo 64. I also have that, but I don't have it downstairs. I have my Nintendo. Wait, I can show you. Yes. Believe it or not, but I still have it with Mario Kart. How cool is that, right? I should hook this up to my TV sometime. It's a little bit dusty. So yeah, I still have this one. All right. See you later, pro bass guitar player. Thanks for joining, man. I hope to see you next time. But yeah, Nintendo 64, man, that was the shit. I mean, the graphics weren't really great, to be honest, but yeah, Mario Kart. You guys remember this game, Mario Kart? Let's see. Dreamcast are very underrated. So no. Sega System 80s, twice a year. Yeah. What time is it here? Over here it is 17:20, so that's 20 past 5 p.m. in the afternoon. So yeah, because I was like thinking about like doing my live streams, like what time would be like a good time to do my live streams. And I could do it like later in the evening over here, but then there's like, if I do it later in the evening, then for people in the States, it might be better because then it's more afternoon over there, because I think it's, for most people, it's still morning over there. But on the other hand, if I do it in the evening, then I won't have daylight. Like now I will, because the days are long, it's summer. But when it's like autumn or winter, then I won't have daylight. And I also feel like it would be kind of fun to do live streams when there's still some daylight, so I can do them outside maybe or in other places. And when it's dark, then I can't do that. So that's why I thought like 4 o'clock over here would be, let me see, like New York is, I think, 6 hours earlier. So 4 o'clock, 3, 2, 1, 12. So it's like 10 o'clock in the morning in New York, I think. Yeah. Good chat. Okay. Well, thank you. Okay. Because I wasn't really sure about my choice of doing this for time, but it's nice to hear from you guys that you like my reasoning for the time. So yeah, thanks. But yeah, man, video games are awesome. I mean, never grow up, right? I mean, geez, I'm 35 years old now, but I still really love playing video games. I think I will still love them when I'm 40 and when I'm 45. I don't care. Yeah, 6 hours, right? Yeah. Why do you're saying you miss video games? Why do you miss them? We still have them. Like, we have an abundance of video games still. They're not gone. You don't have to miss anything if you don't want to. I haven't played them much. Okay. That's, yeah, I mean, I don't, like, for me, I don't play video games like every day. Sometimes like I don't play a video game for like a week or maybe even 2 weeks. But that's okay. I mean, you don't have to like play video games every day to enjoy video games. Just play whenever you feel like it. It is true though. I mean, like when you have like a job and when you have like things to do, and if you have somewhat of a social life. I wish I had a social life. No, but I mean, yeah, it is video games, they do, if you want to play a game like decently, then you have to put in the time, right? You can't really play a video game for like 2 or 3 minutes. I mean most games you can't really do that. So but yeah, I guess like in the end, it's all about creating time, doing things what you want to do. So yeah. Anyways. But as I said, the next live stream next week will be the last one over here in Holland. So I'm gonna think of something fun for next week. Maybe I'll do something. I won't do it here in my attic, but maybe somewhere else in the house, or maybe even outside. I'll think about that. And then the next live stream after that will be in the States. And I'm going to be on the West Coast, which is, I think, 3 hours before the East Coast. Am I correct? I think so. When it's like 11 a.m. in New York, then it's 8 a.m. in Los Angeles, or 7 a.m. I'm not sure, something like that. So I need to think like with the times and whatever, but I'll figure it out. 3 hours behind, right? So I'll figure that out. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Live stream from the States. I mean, I do need. We're gonna be. We have a few places where we're gonna be sleeping at an Airbnb. So we'll probably have decent Wi-Fi, I guess. So the Wi-Fi will probably be good enough for live streaming, and yeah, should be okay. Oh, that's funny. Somebody is actually asking me if I want to sell my camera. I don't know. So anyways, it is now 17:25, so almost 5:30. So I have been doing a live stream for an hour and a half. I think that is a good score. I think I'm going to keep it at that. I want to thank you guys very much for joining in with me this week. Had a lot of fun talking about, cars again and traveling and also video games. Next week, I'll think of another topic, but again, we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. So, I mean, I try to, think of sort of a general topic, but that doesn't mean we can talk about whatever the hell we want. So yeah, I mean, I really like doing this. We're going to keep doing this. Next week, the last live stream from the Netherlands before we travel to the US of A. So let's make it fun. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again next week. Rock and roll. Peace, guys. See you later.